I'm Ignas Meilūnas. I'm an animation director and animator, and we are in animation studio Kadrų skyrius, which makes puppet animation. From childhood, I really loved making things by hand. I get toys when I was a kid, and I would destroy them straight away. I had to wait these 5 weeks that my parents wouldn't be really angry that I disassembled something. And I would just assemble other stuff from these disassembled parts of the toys. So instead of candy, I would buy glue actually for the things to be, glued together. As really small kids, we were building tree houses, building, floating stuff. We were trying to assemble 2 bicycles together to make a car. So yeah, that was my childhood. So I was doing everything I can in school that would prolong my going to work. And work was something that is going to get me eventually. So I was just like, okay, I don't need to work, so I'm still gonna make my hobbies, do stuff, play music. Even in university, I just took the thing that I was the best at school. I went programming actually, computing science, because I was good at math. So that I would just get something and I could do my hobbies more or less, because after the work is going to get me. But in university, I had this course of 3D modeling. It was really technical, it's nothing artistic, but and I liked it so much. It was like making a sculpture, but in a virtual, space. And I went so deep into it, like into 3D modeling. I took it as one of my hobbies, I just started learning everything by myself, like all these softwares. I learned 3ds Max, Maya, and I found a job. And I started working, worked there for maybe half a year and tried to finish my university, and that didn't go really well. But the thing that I got from that company is actually animation, because I would model characters and designs for the environments. And on my free time, sometimes there was no tasks, so my manager would come, hey, you modeled this character. Do you want to try to animate it? Because we have it rigged, you have free time, just go ahead, And just hours passed. It was again the same excitement and the same energy and feedback as I would get from music, from all of my hobbies that I would have. It was pure passion from first day of trying to animate. After I tried animating, of course I was really bad at it, but that was like an impossible task for me, and I really dig that, because you need to learn, you need to have patience, and you spend 12 hours and you get this 2 seconds. But if they are good, it's just pure magic. So I finished my university, I started learning on my own animation, 3D animation. And after 1 year, I started working as an animator. I never looked at it as it could be my, career or like a job. I would just follow the passion that I had, as I did for all of these things. Now animation is, I wouldn't say that it's easy, but there's way more animation. Like I started, 17 years ago. At that time, animation was still this magical thing that nobody, especially in Lithuania, nobody knew how to do it well. There was a handful of people who would do it, and I looked at it and I just thought, wow, man, this is cool. Like this 5 seconds of this character moving, and I feel it, and I can connect to it, and I think that it's alive. It's just cool, you know. I want to do it. At least I want to try. You know, maybe that was the drive. On the other hand, yeah, it's hard work, and maybe I like hard work. Not all of it. I was never thinking of the end game. I was just thinking at the moment, I really dig this and I should try doing that. I remember there was this time where people were started to realize that I'm doing animation, and maybe they asked for, hey, can you do me a favor? Maybe like 5 seconds clip. And then I realized, okay, I need to, like, I'm still not an animator, like acknowledged animator, but I need to dive in this full time. So I saved some money, maybe for 2-3 months of living, and I said, okay, all in. I'm quitting my job in theater, and I'll try to do it in a couple of months. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, well, 3 months, and I'll get back to working in theater or somewhere else. And it worked out. We're in the only stop-motion animation studio in Vilnius. We don't have a lot of artists who work in stop-motion, but if you do, you need to go through this, you know, renting a place for the film, renting all of the equipment, borrowing the equipment. It takes a lot of energy and time and money, and you shoot this film. So we did it with 1 or 2 films. Our friends who were doing some stop motion did it. And then we started getting more and more projects with me and my friends who were doing that. We were just a bunch of freelancers actually who loved this style. The main drive was actually not even films, but the commercials, the commissioned work was actually the problem. Because how TV ads work in Lithuania, they need to shoot it in really small amount of time, like you get maximum 1 day, and for the quality stop motion animation, 1 day you like can produce like 3 seconds if you don't sleep at all, like 16-hour shift, maybe 5-10 seconds of crappy animation, but basically I need time. So that was the idea, to have like a space where we could shoot, you know, 10-second TV ads in 1 week and not in one day, because we lost a lot of good projects only because the production house who would hire me as a director, they couldn't fulfill my vision. But then eventually commercials got less and less time in the studio, and now we're full on doing artistic work. Either it's a co-production with somebody, either somebody comes in and is making a film. But it's, as I told you, in Lithuania, it's a small community. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody is a friend. So if somebody wants to do at least like a second of stop motion, usually people just comes here and we find a way. It's never about the money. Like if the money would be driven force, I would do something else. In my films, in the films that I did, maybe I never ever cutted a creative idea because of the budget. I would just go and do it myself on my free time. I remember where at the end of shooting of my first film, I see that there's a couple of more shots that I need to do, like hard shots, and I don't have anything. I don't have team, I don't have anything. I was working as a animator in a studio at that time. So I would just occupy the bathroom of the animation studio, and I would shoot at nights in this bathroom. It was 3 nights, and I did it. is a thing of passion. You follow your passion until it burns out, then you do other thing. Somehow the passion still there after 15, 17 years. Yeah, I like working by hands. Basically, if it's a project that I can imagine in my head and then produce with my hands, usually. I'm building a sauna, for example, in my free time now, and I enjoy it so much. I learned everything on this like wood frame construction, and I'm thinking, wow, it's so similar like to animation. It's totally different, of course, but it's so similar. You imagine something, and then you build it by hand. End result is physical. That's why maybe stop motion animation stuck so much, because I started in 3D animation. But when you don't have it physical, somehow the sense of achievement is way bigger than have it just digital form of pixels on the screen. I just love animation, especially in sets. Like, you can see the final image on your screen, and that's it. You shut the door, the curtains. You're in this dark environment. Nobody can come to you. It's your private space, and you're in this meditative state, and you're injecting life in this dead stuff that you just put together, and now with animation, you make it alive. It's just different world. You're in such a state, kind of meditative. I cannot even describe this feeling, but it's just from another world. Imagination is the only limit. There's a lot of technical limitations, and that's why you're not the god that says, okay, it needs to be that way. You start, of course, you have a plan. You have a vision how it should look, but then you start, and then you're kind of floating on this river, and you can just like drive a little bit. But in puppet animation, usually it's just like floating. You do a little bit there. You think that you're going that direction, but then the river can change, and then you need to adapt. I would love to do a feature film. Like, that was my goal from the beginning. If speaking more specifically, I still don't know how to do it. Like, how I tend to work is I do a film inside my head while we are drawing drawing storyboards, doing animatics. It needs to work there. Like, actually, as a director, my creative work usually ends in the animatic. My head needs to be big enough that I could see the end result before we start the production, actually. So in pre-production, I need to have the whole film in my head, and it needs to work. With short films, they fit really nice. With feature, maybe I'm still searching for the story that would kickstart me so bad that I could spend this, because it will be 7-8 years, we calculated, if we work the same as we work now. Yeah. Usually I don't get criticism that much. I tend to push people to say negative stuff, but I don't know, people are afraid of doing this. The best thing is to go to see your film somewhere not in your country, animation festivals, international. You sit quietly and you see. Kids react because kids are just bombs, they're so reactive. Kids react or they don't react. This is the best criticism you can get, like this criticism that can actually turn into something that you can learn from. There's a specific thing that you wanted to make in this scene and it doesn't work, they don't react. but then they react to something which is there by accident, you know? And then you make a small library. Okay, these things work, this thing doesn't work. Next time you try. I'm a father of 2 daughters, and they are like, they're, you know, preschool. They're first grades at school, so I'm testing everything on them. The books are just the beginning of the project, you know. I tend to write stories also, but I somehow feel that if I write a story, I'm actually writing a script right now, but I don't know why, but I don't want to produce it. Like, I like this, even if I like the story, somehow if the story comes to me randomly, I want to make it as a film. But if I need to write a script from scratch, I would love to see how somebody else directed it or produced it, but I don't have this, you know, driving force. No, I really need to make it. Sometimes I actually, even with the writing, sometimes I come to work a little bit earlier. I spend maybe 1 hour just writing what's like a short story, just a framework of a short story. I finish it and I'm really happy with it, and that's it, it's there. It's never those stories that I created myself from scratch. I think all of the countries are really special if you start digging. For example, I don't know, like Estonia, Finland, is just this specific style. Usually Lithuanian animation, especially in past 5 years, usually it traveled really well in international festivals, because usually when it's one person's idea, it's this special style that he has in mind. Small teams usually adapt to it, and so the end result is this specific style that you have. Nobody wants to watch, you know, Cartoon Network style animation. It needs to be edgy. Even for kids, especially for kids. Young audience films nowadays are extremely edgy. And usually it's short films. No commercial success can come from short films. So voila, we can do whatever. Thank God for animation festivals, you know, and thank God that the media, that especially Nordic countries are making, has its place, you know. I wouldn't say that. Sometimes there's this belief that, you know, short films are just like a beginning of your career. You learn how to make them, and then you move to series or to feature films. In animation, it's not that much. It's usually maybe in live action. But in animation, yeah, short films, there's specific ideas and specific style that you just cannot watch for 1 hour. It just needs to be, 10 minutes. It's the best amount of time that you can have for this style of animation, if it's like really edgy, or the story. I sometimes get this, man, you're playing with puppets all the day. It's actually, I see it in my kids. My kids are basically, they're living in the studio. They grew up here. I remember from 2-year-olds, like I'm animating on a set, and then my daughter is, you know, sleeping. It's, you know, so kids see it as, okay, so grown-ups do fun stuff. So I see it in their eyes that they want to grow up and want to do the fun stuff. I didn't see that when I was a kid. I still feel that I don't have a job. I still feel that I'm still making this fun stuff, and one day I will need to work a job. The job is just still not getting me, you know?